Hey, what's going on, everyone? And welcome back to another episode of Just My Opinion. Guys, we are talking Winning Time, The Rise of the Lakers Dynasty, Season 2, Episode 3, titled The Second Coming. In the 1970s, Larry Bird rises from a small-town boy to a position as a sought-after player. Later, Irving puts pressure on Bus. Guys, I want to let you know that this is going to be a spoiler-filled recap, okay? I'm going to spoil this episode like I always do, up, down, left, right, in, and out, as if you've already seen it. That is your warning. And if this is your first time here, you like the video, you like my commentary, please give me a thumbs up and hit that subscribe button to help me reach that next milestone of 50,000 subscribers. And again, I'm gonna shout out Elliot with Movie Files and Tyler with Reviewz TV. And they put me onto this show, and I'm really glad that they did. And it was really funny to me at the very beginning of this episode, seeing the Lakers at home on the phone with each other, all salty, seeing the Celtics, the Boston Celtics, win the season that they lost against Houston in the first round of the playoffs because Magic wanted to be Superman and airball the last winning shot. That already sucked right there. Then to see your rival boasting and bragging and smoking the cigarette, Larry Bird and the owner Red puffing on the cigar and blowing it at the camera and then actually coming out of the TV. Of course, we know that's fake. That can't really happen. But it was a great effect. And I was like, oh, it must feel so good to be at Celtics right now. And while it was funny, I kind of felt sorry for the Lakers too. You guys let me know what you think. I mean, I did, but I didn't because Magic was tripping. He did lose the season for them guys. He did lose that playoff game, being ridiculous. And it was funny because later on in the episode, Norm Nixon was like, Coach, it is not my fault. We know he's trying to figure, Dr. Bush is trying to figure out, okay, where did we go wrong? And he's interviewing everybody. He's interviewing Paul Westhead. He's interviewing Pat Riley. He's interviewing Bill. He's interviewing Jerry West. He's also interviewing Norm. Norm was like, bro, we have 4 people open, 4 people. Even the water boy was probably open. Okay, he didn't say that. I'm just teasing. But Magic wanted to be Superman. So while I did feel sorry for the Lakers, I didn't at the same time. But at the same, it was very funny to me, that opening scene. And I will admit, for a second, I didn't think I was really going to like this episode. I thought that they was going to focus on Larry Bird too much. And I mean, Larry Bird is cool, but I was like, yeah, I just want to see more of the Lakers. I don't want to see him because they took us back to like 1974, 1975, where he wanted to go home and see his father. And in some of the books, some of the research, some of the memoirs, Larry Bird was saying that his dad was his best friend. They didn't really depict it that well in this episode. You guys let me know what you think, but he wanted to go see his dad and told him that he dropped out of college at an IU. And his dad was distraught, like, bro, there is nothing here for you, okay? If you want a view of your future, here it is right here. I know I'm a mess up. I know I'm a mistake. You're the only thing that I've done right, and I wanted you to be better than me. And that was just really sad. I really did like the longing, the relationship that Bird wanted to have with his father that just wasn't there, that just wasn't existent. But you can tell that it was something that it was really important to him, as it is for most children. They do want a relationship with their parents and their fathers, you know, but they was divorced. Him and his wife, Jerry, is the father of Larry Bird. Jerry Bird was divorced from the wife, and he was not able to keep up on the payments. That was one of the reasons why when he got the news, speaking of Larry Bird, that his dad was shot, he was like, hey, cop, okay, man, you can't just lock up my dad for being broke, okay? I will assist with the payments if that will help. And unfortunately, that wasn't the case. He just found out that his father killed himself, blew himself away with a shotgun. And man, that has to be, I don't even know. I can't even imagine going through something like that. You know, I'm lucky that my father was never put in a situation like that. But then when no one is asked to be brought into this world, no one can choose their family. I mean, we just got what we got. But he's in this situation and he has to walk in on the dead body of his father, taking his own life. That's just a lot to deal with right there. And it's just something that nobody should have to go through. But speaking with Larry Bird in real life, he did say that helped him drive him to be the legend that he is today. I'm not going to sit here and say that it was a benefit. Like, see how it turned out. That would be completely ignorant and very, very selfish and just not sensitive at all to the situation, because this is real life account, even though this is a dramatization. But I was just really looking at his face, Larry Bird's face, on that scene, and it's just like, man, that's just crazy right there to have to witness something like that to a loved one. So, you know, just sorry for everybody out in the world that had to go through something like that. But it was, you know, Larry, you know, he was talented, and he was playing in the backyard and parking lots, and his coach from ISU was like, bro, why are you pretending like you hate the game? Just come and play for me. Just one practice. I got you. We can get you a full ride. Or at least that's what Larry Bird should have been asking for. That dialogue was not in the episode, but this dude really did show up in some loafers, I think it was, and some jeans, and schooled the whole varsity basketball team. But did they even have varsity in college? Well, no, that's what the memoir said when I was reading it, but still, he waxed that ass, got over like 40-something points, and that was very, very entertaining right there. But I have to say, I do like that the coach put his foot down, stood his ground. I'm like, hey, I know that I begged you to come here, but still, you know, we do have a policy. There is no profanity here on school, okay? So we're not going to have all that. And, you know, I respect that. I respect that, because I was, at first, you know, well, somebody may be saying to themselves, okay, why is Larry Bird being such a douche, being such an ass? I'm going to give me the effing ball. I'm like, no, he has every right, because that dude was all up in his pockets, all in the backyard, in the back parking lot at his job, like, please come play for me, please, please, please. Begging him week after week. And so, yeah, and he showed up and showed out. So I don't mind that either, but I did like the coach. I did respect him for that, for just saying, okay, hey, ain't it gonna be getting no cussing over here. We gotta cut all that out. Now, sticking with Larry, I also like how Red, the owners of the Celtics, came to recruit Larry Bird. That was nice right there. I like that. And in the information that I have, they did say that the dialogue they used in this scene was fictionalized, but the whole story of it was very, very true. It did go down somewhat like that. And I like the way that Red was negotiating, like, hey, I do need you, Larry, but at the same time, you're just a corner man. And he said that that was a risk, but it ended up working out in his favor. Larry coming to win for them for the Celtics. And also, I like the way that the episode ended with Larry Bird going back to his home garage and pulling out that memory book. That was something that was very prominent in this episode and kept circulating around, and just means a lot. And so that was just a nice touch for the end of the episode. But initially, I was really bummed out. Like, oh, why are we seeing so much Larry Bird? But I got to be honest with you, I like the way it turned out. It was quite nice, and I like that they shine that amount of light on Larry Bird, going all the way back to 1974 to 1981. That was a pretty good transition right there. But what was also funny to me was that Magic Johnson basketball camp and those little kids that was drilling him. I found that to be hilarious. I knew that it was fake and they really wasn't doing that, but I can really see that the Magic is having things in his head, talking to him, messing with his mind, that he's not able to concentrate, he's not able to focus. You know, he's scatterbrained, and I think that was a really good representation right there. But what do y'all think about this extension? Magic I already had a 5-year deal, 5-year contract with the team, but he wanted an extension. But then the coach ended up giving him a 25-year deal for $25 million. I'm like, man, $1 million a year, that's pretty good right there. But I was saying to myself immediately, like, wait, because most of us know the history in real life, like, wait a minute, and just kind of know how the NBA works. Like, that if he just stuck there over 25 years, he is getting underpaid. And that's actually what happened in real life. A few years later, a few seasons later, and it wasn't in this episode, Magic did feel like, wait a minute, you know, I'm being underpaid here. Even though I'm not going to be a player for 25 years, I'm going to have a job, I'm being underpaid. And he did renegotiate his contract to get even more money. But Dr. Jerry Buss was smart, though. I mean, he was smart. At the time, that was the most lucrative salary in sports history. And so Magic can't get mad at that, but just a few years later, I'm worth more than this. And so I'm glad it still worked out for everybody. Now, did y'all feel sorry for Jeannie, Dr. Buss's daughter? Because she was the one that was late, and then gonna go home and see that the family had already started the family Monopoly game with her. Everybody booed up. The both brothers are booed up. The dad is booed up now with Honey, and she don't have no boo. So she took that upon herself to possibly influence her dad to trade the girlfriend to another team. That was kind of messed up to me, in my opinion. I don't know the whole legality and all the business, but on the surface, it's like, really, did you have to do that? And I believe that it ended up working out in the business's favor, but still, that may not have been their intentions initially. It may have just been some nefarious move because you're nervous of your brother. Now, they did bump heads later on to saying, no matter what you do, Jeannie, you're never going to be your dad's favorite son. And that was really low right there. That was a low blow. And you can tell that Jeannie was hurt about that. And it is quite interesting because I did notice that myself. It seems like Jeannie is the most responsible sibling of all three of them, the smartest, the most ambitious, the most hardworking. But their dad, Dr. Jerry Buss, does have favorites. He does favor the sons more. It does seem that way. You guys let me know what you think. And also let me know if you think that was shady on Jeannie's part, or do you think that she had good intentions? I'm on the fence, but I'm leaning more towards that was just kind of shady on her part, but I want to hear from you guys too. Now, during my last recap, I talked about the relationship with Dr. Jerry Buss and also Honey. They did expand on that a little bit. It seems like he's getting more serious. He invited her to the family Monopoly game. He rented out some spot somewhere where it was all the roses in the world, playing that favorite song from over 15, 20 years ago. He's really cutting for her. And she's like, man, I got a straight life now. Please don't hurt me. I'm still kind of lost on why he thought about her randomly at the middle of the second episode and be like, I gotta look this woman up. She used to give great blowjobs in my Mustang. I'm teasing, but she did say that. So I'm just really confused. If you guys can help me out with that, please let me know. But now we get to the nitty gritty of the episode, the drama of the business. And I don't like it. Paul Westhead is doing a great job, played by Paul Siegel. And I was liking him for the most part, but things are turning back around. First of all, he does not trust Pat anymore. He doesn't. And I don't blame him because last episode, Pat was lying to him about Magic's knee, doing secret practices behind the scenes, going behind his back, being a bit too big for his britches as far as an assistant coach. So Paul Westhead is like, hey, I need more authority to do this. You need to follow the pecking order. I did like Paul, but I was really upset with him that the way they traded Chones and wasn't just straight up with him. I mean, this dude is married. He just bought a house and got triplets. I understand it's a business, but damn, he must have really thought he had secured a home there if he bought a house and just had triplets. And at the very end of the last episode, they was talking about the boss, the owner, how he upped everyone's salary. Even during the very beginning of this episode at the Magic Johnson basketball camp, the other player was like, man, out of nowhere, and I don't think that was Chon, I think that was another player like, man, they must love me. Well, I was getting paid this, now I'm getting paid 10 times that. But I was like, man, he really thought he had a home there, and he felt betrayed and cussed Bill out, and Bill didn't give a damn. Oh, it's the business. You know, because when Paul told him, like, I'm willing to cut Chones for a cup check, Bill didn't care and was happy about it. I was talking about 750, 800,000. And yeah, in real life, Chones really, he said he cussed him up like a motherfucker. That was his exact words. Yeah, he said, I cursed that motherfucker up and down. That's from Jim Chones right there. And so, as far as trading, but I don't understand. But I really didn't like Paul Hyde in the office like that. I really didn't. And his character really came unraveled right after that, following up when he had the conversation with Pat talking about, you need to follow the pecking order, okay? And I don't blame him for feeling that way. It's just the way he went about it just seems really eerie to me. It really doesn't. And Pat was trying to come back like, I bet for you. I went for you and did this and stood up for you, even though you didn't deserve it and yada, yada. But they were both wrong in multiple situations during this series, during this season. And so hopefully they can respect each other now. But even Magic was saying to himself, like, yeah, it was real beef between them two. And they probably didn't end up working it out, you know what I'm saying? But going back to Magic, he was acting like a child. Cookie was like, hey, man, I got a new dude here. And Magic, I got to say, man, that's just kind of whack, bro. I mean, I don't know who launched or rekindled the flame as far as you and Cookie's relationship, because it did seem like Cookie's mother was the one that popped it off. And so if that's the case, then I'll give you some leeway right there. But if you keep on hitting up a girl that broke up with you while she has another man, that's not cool in my book. That's just kind of whack right there. And then you're going to get mad at her and get emotional and hang up the phone talking about, fine, if you don't want to live over here with me, then it's over. I mean, hey, you can't get mad at her, bro. You the one that was smashing other chicks. She don't want to get hurt again. I'm glad that she stood her ground. I'm just saying, ladies, if you're watching this, be like Cookie in this situation. Like, look, bro, you done already messed up. Okay, yeah, she was turning down $25 million, but hey, That just shows that money is not everything. I respect her for that. I do. Guys, men will only do what you allow them to do. And even though Magic was mad in that moment and hung up like a little bitch, he gained respect for her. He did. In real life, Magic may never admit that to her. But I'm just giving y'all some free game right now. When women stand their ground like that, even if the relationship is over, he will always respect you more. And he was just being emotional right there. He was being a child. But I like the way that Dr. Buss called him out on it at the table towards the end. Like, look, man, about this extension, we can tell to press this, we can tell to press that, but I don't need you going around rubbing this contract up in people's faces, okay? We need to win a championship. We got to squash this beef. We got to have chemistry. Yeah, you're good, but you're not the only person on the team, okay? You need to act right. I'm an old man. I'm 40, 50. I don't know how years old. You 20-something, okay? You can't be acting all crazy and doing this and doing that. I love that scene. That was a great-ass scene right there, and I'm ad-libbing, but basically that's the gist of it. And I also like the Dr. Buss for making Norm and Magic meet like that at the very end. And yes, there was no small talk in real life. He was like, look, if you don't want to be here, I can trade you somewhere else. If you have something to get off your chest, let's be men and talk about it and work it out. You vent your frustrations and Magic will vent his frustrations. I can be the mediator. 100%. I respect that wholeheartedly. Putting myself in Dr. Buss's shoes, like, look, we was embarrassed last season, okay? We cannot go through it again. I'm trying to make some money here, okay? So we need to squash this. We all need to be in chemistry. We all need to be in sync if we're going to pull off another championship. If we are going to reach the potential of this title, the Lakers, the dynasty, I don't forgot the name of the show, y'all. Winning time, the rise of the Lakers dynasty, okay? We need to squash it all. Great acting too, especially by Norm, but I was like, Norm, you need to get this off your chest, bro. You need to get it off your chest. But he was like, no, I like it here. He looked at Magic like, we good? And so that's what's up right there. I like that. So shout out to Dr. Buss for setting that meeting up because that was dope. But yeah, guys, another great episode for another great season on another great show on Max right now. Winning Time, The Rise of the Lakers Dynasty. Season 2, Episode 3, The Second Coming. That is all I got. Guys, in the comment section, let me know what you thought about the episode. Let me know what you thought about my commentary. And if this is your first time here, hit that subscribe button. Become one of the members of Just My Opinion Reviews. I will be back here same time, same place next week with episode 4. Thank you so much for watching. If you do subscribe, guys, you're going to get all this pretty stuff right here. You know you want to hit that subscribe button. But guys, again, I just want to thank you so much for tuning in. And before you go, don't forget that my name is Brandon Keith Avery. And that's just my opinion. Peace.